Hello guys, and welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Java programming. So in today's class, what I want to do is really practice what we have just saw in the past few classes. So basically practicing the for loop like we saw in the past class, as well as basically practicing the if function, and also working a little bit with arrays just to basically be able to practice everything together. So what I want to do to be able to perform all this is pretty simple. I want to create a simple application that will find the color of different cars. So basically what we're going to do, we are going to create basically a database that is made with an array where we're going to store different car colors. And what exactly will happen after that is pretty simple. We're going to basically create a for loop that will basically check out each car and verify if, with an if function, a car is a certain color. And if it is, well, it will return something. If it's not, it will return something else. So basically to create this type of, this type of program, or basically a basic application like this, we need to use three things. Well, actually a little bit more than three things. We should use the if function and basically if-else statement. We should use arrays, and we will use for loops as well, and some other basic elements such as some functions such as the equals function, and some comparing tools, as well as some variables. So basically this is what we are going to do. But you'll see it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, so basically let's start. Great, so in the past class we talked about arrays, and we saw arrays for numbers, if I'm not mistaken. What we're going to do today is pretty simple. We are going to talk about arrays, but basically we are going to use strings this time. So pretty simple how exactly this works. So I think I've talked about it in the past classes about the arrays. So basically to create an array with the use of a string, it works pretty much as a variable. So let's create an array. So it's gonna be string. Then to create the array is pretty simple. It's those parentheses right there. And let's call our array car data. So here car data. There we go. So we have our array name. So let's even make it simpler. Let's just call it data. Great. So right now that we have our array that is created, what we need to do is simply use new and string. Since we're using a string, we're going to write down new string. Then it's pretty simple. What we're going to do is simply select the size of our database. So here, let's say I want to have 7 different cars, and each of those cars will have a different color. So let's start. Basically pretty simple. Data, in this case 0. So basically right now what I'm doing is I'm filling up my database. So data 0 will be equal to, in this case, let's say red. Then data 1 will be equal to blue. Then data number 2 will be equal to yellow. So you'll see how it works. It's pretty simple. Data 3 will be equal to gray. Data 4 will be equal to blue again. All right, great. So you get the point. Pretty simple. Let's put only 5 because it starts to get a little bit long. So right now that we have our array, basically we have everything that we need to basically start and create our for loop. So right now we have our array. So everything works fine. Until now there is no mistake. We have created our database. We have 5 elements inside of our database. Now it's time to create our for loop like we saw it. So pretty simple, and one little different thing in this class, we're going to use strings instead of using basically numbers. So pretty simple. So for, as I said, we have 3 statements inside of our statement. So basically int. So in this case, we're working with integers. So pretty simple. Since we have a database, so we want our basically our for loop to check out each element of the database. So we have element 0, element 1, element 2, 3, as well as 4. And what we want to do is simply ask our for loop to check out from the element 0. So it will check out from 0. This is really the first step. So for int I equals to 0. So it will start checking out from 0. Then what exactly are the conditions here? So we want basically our array to stop, our for loop to stop working when it reaches the end of the array. So basically we need to have a number that is greater than the size of the array. So basically greater than the length of our array that is called data. So basically greater than data length. And finally, each time we want our number to grow by 1. So in this case, it goes from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So if you guys want to jump from more than one number, you can do it, but the problem is you will miss some data. Great. So right now that everything works, what exactly we want to do? So right now we want to create our if function that basically what will do, it will check out if each number is basically equal to a certain color. So let's say, for example, we want to check out for blue color. So which car has a blue color? So how exactly we will write this down? So if, in this case, the array data with the array number I, so in this case, we're working with I, but if you guys want to put something else, such as A, B, C, or anything else, it's possible, is equal. So basically, really important to write down equals in letters to, let's say, blue. What we want to happen. So we want basically our application to print something. So this is exactly what we're going to write down. So system.out.println, and what exactly we want our system to print. Whoop, little mistake right there. It's a dot. Here we go. Great. So right now it should work fine. All right. So we want our system to print something. So we want our system to print the car number and to say that the car number is basically red. So this is exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to write down car number plus, in this case, plus what exactly? Plus the number of our array. So basically from 0 to 4. Plus I is red. Is blue. In this case, we're working with the blue color. Great. So basically, if a car is blue, this is what will be generated. Otherwise, what exactly will be generated? So we are going to write it down right there. So else. So what exactly we want to do if it's not blue? So once again, we want to print something else. So we can just copy all this right there. And instead of is blue, we will print is not blue. Great. So does everything works fine? Yes, all our parentheses are pretty good. Awesome, amazing. Okay, we have everything. All right, great. We have everything that we need. There is no mistake. So right now, let's try and run our app. So let's just summarize everything, run the app and summarize everything. So as you can see, what exactly happened. So it checked all the cars from 0 to 4. So it checked that car number 0 is not blue. Car number 1 is blue. Car number 2 is not blue. Car number 3 is not blue, and car number 4 is blue. So as you can see, it checked out all the different cars, and it checked out the color of each of those cars. So pretty simple if we summarize absolutely everything that we have. So step 1, what exactly we did is pretty simple. We created our array right here, and we stored our basically our colors inside of that array. So we have, in this case, 5 cars. So from 0 to 4. Each car has a color, so data 0 is red, car number 2 is blue. So basically we could have called it car, so it would have been simpler than data. Then when we created our database, the next step, what exactly we did, we created a for loop. That is, well, the statement of the for loop, well, the formula of the for loop is divided in 3 statements. So first statement is what exactly we want to start with. So here we want to start with 0. So we start with data number 0. And basically the second statement is where we want our array to stop, or our condition. We want the array, well, not the array, but when we want our for loop to stop. So we want our for loop to stop when the data length, or the length of our array, is greater than the array itself. So when it becomes greater than 5. So in this case, if it's equal to 5, it's okay. So basically this is where it will stop. So this is exactly what happens. And each time we want it to grow by 1. So we do +1. So this is exactly what we did. Then in the if function, it's pretty simple what we did. It starts out pretty simple. We want our I, which is the number of our data, to be equal to blue. In this case, we can change the name and make it red or yellow or whatever we want. This is exactly what we did. So if it's blue, we will return this. Otherwise, we will return this. So as you can see, pretty simple. And what we did right now is basically we put everything together to be able to generate this small text right here. So this was really a summary of everything that we saw until now. So that's it for this class, guys, and see you all in our next class.